Hello? No, I'm not Anthony. Are you lost? Hey, what's up everybody? It's Johnny, your resident beat maker at Lander. Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator just came out, and we're gonna figure out what makes the Tyler, the Creator sound so unique. And remember to like and subscribe and click the bell notification so that you're reminded that every week we got some cool videos coming out from the Lander camp. Golf. So, Tyler, the Creator, you might know him as the founder of Odd Future. So you probably remember him from the music video Yonkers, because I do. So his early days, he was doing more of that shock value type of rap, but now he's evolved into a full-fledged artist, from fashion to making music for commercials, concept albums, creates a world around his personas, his characters, like the Igor album, and just making the best music out there. But you can see in the new album, like all his learnings and his experience in the music industry has been fully shaped in Call Me If You Get Lost, and you can hear maturity in his sound, all the little elements that he's brought from past albums into that new album. So what makes a Tyler, the Creator sound so unique? A lot of his music has chords, and chords. A lot of that. Tyler, the Creator, loves using chords. He's mentioned it in past interviews. It's one of the base of his music. Next would be keys. He uses all the keys. Tyler is like a keyboardist at heart, and he loves playing keys over the chords. Some arps, like more of the broken chord. It's kind of like the la 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 kind of vibe into it that adds to the rest. And also chop drums. He's a sampler. He likes to chop break beats from the jazzy more stuff into like the more like, I guess, world type of drums that he can find. And then he would implement that in his music and make it his own way. And the final touch that Tyler does in his music is magic. So when it comes to Tyler, his magic is mainly in his structure. So how Tyler uses structure magically is almost like a beginning of a movie. He kind of sets like an establishing shot. So it kind of sets like the tone and the pacing of what you kind of expect coming in. So what I try to build with the story is like, the beginning, it's like the sun came out and you're happy to be like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. Kind of like somebody kind of like going out for a bike ride after like a thunderstorm. As I'm going out the bike, whoever the character is gets a call, and then it's like an unexpected like message from his loved one, and it's saying like, hey, this is not working out. And then he kind of questions himself, like why? And then it kind of builds even more to like a bit of angry, and then back to like serenity and chill. It's kind of like a story of like when you go through an unexpected breakup. Let me show you. There's room for vocals, you see? Or, never. Anything can happen. So you get it, a lot of room. You can either start talking in it, add a new sound like I did, or whatever, but there's a lot of room for him to like explore. If you haven't seen the movie Soul, you know that jazz chords, it has a lot of life and it has a lot of movement. And the way that Tyler does it, he kind of respects the pure form of it by the way he's incorporating these chords into his music. So I was really excited to do this video, and I mentioned it to Steve. I was like, yo, we got to make a Tyler, the Creator type beat video. And I did a little bit of research during the week. I put in some time into researching, but also some practice. So I have some sort of a template that I built. I'm not like a good keyboardist, or I don't play piano that well, so I use MIDI packs to help me build these chord progressions. So I loaded up this track with a JX3P. All right, let's find some sounds and then throw in the chord progression. So I have a C major progression. I'm gonna find something. Let's listen. That sounds kind of Tyler-ish. Let's try other ones. Ooh. Yeah. Steve, what do you think of this?
Yeah, that's it.
It has like an R&B feel too.
Yeah, the way that it went up and then it comes back like down. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm feeling it.
Let's have a listen with the synth. So this is like a pad. Another thing that he does really well is that he layers keys over it, and it's probably the same chord, but with more like of a clean piano type, so like a jazzy piano. Because what I think about when Tyler writes his music, and the moments where it's like peaceful and happy, it feels like After the storm, when the sun comes through like the clouds, that's what makes a Tyler, the Creator kind of chord. Yeah, sweet relief. I have some keys loaded. Let's try that. I'm just gonna duplicate this chord progression. So, and then let's see what I have loaded. So I do have a Japanese jazz studio key that I found on my Arturia Lab 5 that I use a lot. See? It builds, you know. Next thing I'm gonna do is add drums so that we could see that the sun is out, and then imagine Tyler loves to bike, so imagine pedaling to his next destinations. All right, so we're gonna jump into the breakbeat. I'm gonna load up #1 sample site in the world, Lander Samples. So I already did my research. I found this really cool pack that's curated by Lander called Jazz Drum Essentials. It has a lot of cool breakbeats that I love. So this is not processed yet, but I think there's something. There's a lot of cool, there's like movement. All right, so let's try that. I'm gonna drop this into this channel. All right, so I dropped it in, so let's have a listen. Already it's pretty good. You know, the roll. Yo, this is Tyler. Sunshine, you better know me. I got no lines. I don't know what I'm saying.
I got like no bars.
Drums kind of sound really good. I find like what Tyler does really well is like he takes like a break beat and then makes it kind of his own by not having like a regular like signature. It would be not the classic boom boom pop boom. It would be like boom boom pop 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 boom boom. Steve, are you learning? Are you learning?
No, I'm learning what?
Like, sorry, this is like a bit long, but it's like once I figure it out, it's gonna be fine. You see how like it has like a bit of like, it sounds kind of weird, but it works. What I'm gonna try to do is just copy this part, remove everything else, and just add that. Yo, this rips, man. This is fire. Okay, so we got the drums. It's a bit choppy, like chopped drums should be. Arps. I have the keys.
Another one.
I need to add the arps.
Another one.
So picture again, the sun is out, you know, chords, the keys came out, and then you're pedaling towards to go meet your friends, and then you have an anticipation to be like, all right, I'm gonna go see them, I'm gonna hang out, it's gonna be fun. That's what the arp is. I'm gonna add that little like butterfly, bird chirping, fa la 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 type of vibe, you know? So I already found some stuff from my research. I think this is gonna help. I just need to play some keys over everything. You know, that's already a Tyler Creator intro. Everyone knows me now. Like another trick is to just take whatever the chord progression is and just put it in and then see what happens. So I'm gonna delete that and then let's take a part of this chord progression. Let's take this part and then jack it in there.
Phrasing. Shut up.
Into the arp. Nope. Let me just go up higher. How do you jump octaves in the piano roll?
Hold shift and press up, I think.
Shift up? Oh, sick. Shift down. It sounds weird. But let's say I delete some stuff and then just try this. Yeah, so just remove things. Can't always, you know. So I think that sounds pretty good. So in this segment, we were trying to channel like Tyler's like influence by Kanye West by adding a little vocal chop.
Just talk to me.
So you see, it's almost like a phone call. It's like, you know, you're unexpected and you're like, so talk to me for real, like what's going on, you know? So you see what I'm trying to build? You know, you got a phone call, let's talk, and then it's like, hey, it's not working out, and you're like, for real? kind of cheesy, but it works, you know? The vocal part, like the vocal chops, is kind of like a first verse where there's a lot of room for like any rapper to kind of like speak his mind about whatever he's rapping about. So, you know, I didn't add too much. And now we're gonna go into a second part where I add in, you know, the arp that you heard in the first segment. Hear the arp? Oh, I forgot to mention. So in this segment, I brought in the arp and I added another element, more of a percussive element that I found that just adds a little bit more to the drums. We could listen to it on its own where it's like a clav. It comes in like once in a while, but it adds to the whole thing. You know, after like the phone call, he kind of like questions a lot and he's really in his head. And then it's boiling up, and then I added like a little, kind of like a mental breakdown or like a boiling to like really angry segment. And I find that Tyler does a lot of that in his structure where it goes from like very hopeful, lush colors, very beautiful, into like a dark and like more like grimy segment where he kind of like expresses his anger, and then it goes back to that. And you know, that's something that happens a lot in movies where, you know, for example, a rom-com, it's kind of like a montage segment where it's like, you see him go from like happy in love to like super sad. It's more angry, it's not as sad. So, like you can see, what I try to do is like I added an 808, I added like a more stabby type of synth. It kind of like expresses that anger, you know. I'm like releasing a lot of energy in a small segment. So the next step is like you came back to your senses and you try to reflect about what did I do wrong, but it's like a bit more clear, and then it builds up, you know, till the end where it's like you either solve your problems or you move on. The drum part is specifically a signature of Pharrell. He does that really well. You know, it's more hopeful. I can add anything. So you see how I built this song. We told a story through structure, and we managed to pull a Tyler, the Creator type track. And really important is like, I think whatever you're trying to do, your magic and you know, Tyler makes his magic with his structure and the way he builds things and looking at things visually. But when it comes to you making your music, it needs to start from the heart, and then also be creative and don't be shy. Just as cheesy as it might sound, the world needs your magic, and don't shy away from it. Express it as much as you can. Magic is your own. Nobody can replicate it. Get lost in your own sauce. And you know, let me know if I made a good beat that kind of like respects Tyler's like visual, sonically thing. Even let me know if I didn't do it right and tell me how you would do it or what I should have added, because I'm always learning like you. So just leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you so we can make the best type beat videos ever. So that's it. What more you want, Steve?
Nah, B, I'm good.
What's the next beat? I should rap on this, maybe. Me and my friend, we be playing, pedaling out the East Coast, but I'm from the West Coast. So when it comes to Tyler, his magic. And remember to like and subscribe. I'm gonna make this beat so crazy. You're gonna see me on this star, DAW, so lazy. Wham.
Angry.
They call me Johnny
Okay, all right.
Odd Present.